Now, inflation in Venezuela is expected to reach 1,000,000% by the end of the year, which means you need bags of cash to buy basic goods. To try to deal with the problem, the government is knocking 5 zeros off the national currency. The new money will be introduced on Monday, but there are concerns about what will happen after the switchover. Well, shops are closed and people have been stocking up on food and petrol. Well, Steve Henke is Professor of Applied Economics at Johns Hopkins University. He is one of the world's leading experts in measuring and stopping hyperinflation. Professor Henke is in Baltimore in Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us. Professor Henke, so what exactly do you do in a situation like this?
Well, they're doing the wrong thing. What they're doing is just changing the appearance of the currency. They will exchange 100,000 old bolivars for one new bolivar, and that's about the end of the story. If you don't change the regime and the system of monetary and currency and exchange rates, nothing changes. The inflation now is running about, as I measure it on a daily basis, it's about 44,000% on an annual basis and going higher.
So what is the quickest proper fix that the government can use?
There are only really two ways to do this. The quickest way is to officially dollarize the economy, get rid of the bolivar completely and use the US dollar. Now, de facto, that's what's occurred. We've had a spontaneous dollarization in Venezuela where the unit of account for all calculations and so forth is actually the US dollar. The real value of the bolivar supply is very, very small. Dollars dominate.
Well, but if you dollarize, that is not just an economic proposition, that's also a political proposition, considering the relations between Venezuela and the United States.
Well, it certainly is. There's no question about it. But we did that in 2001 in Ecuador. The sucre was collapsing. That was a local currency. I was the advisor to the Minister of Finance, and we simply eliminated the sucre and replaced it with the dollar. And inflation stopped immediately. We did exactly the same thing in Montenegro, where I was President Djukanovic's advisor in 1999. The inflation rate had been, with the Yugoslav dinar, 313% per month. We replaced the Yugoslav dinar in December of 1999 with the Deutschmark, and everything calmed down within hours.
I was actually about to ask you whether Venezuela was the worst case that you've seen yet, but you just mentioned millions of percent, which suggests that Venezuela could actually do better. It's not the worst that any country's ever seen.
There have been 58 hyperinflations in world history, and by hyperinflation standards, the one going on now in Venezuela is kind of a modest one. The big ones were Hungary 1946, Zimbabwe 2008, and Yugoslavia in 1994. Those are the big three.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Steve Henke, American economist at Johns Hopkins University. Much appreciated.
Thank you.